Welcome to Zealand News for some breaking news. That breaking news is that the name of this YouTube channel is changing. We've heard it from the man Zealand himself. This YouTube channel's name is going to be changing from FM Base to Zealand. Why this is happening, how this is happening, and what it means for the future, well, we're not quite sure. So naturally, we are going to go interview members of the general populace who will have even less of an idea than we will, but we will treat their words as gold themselves. General populace, your thoughts?
Well, I heard that Zealand boy was finally going to change his name on YouTube from FM Base. Now, that's fine. I never really knew what FM Base was. I just knew that his name was Zealand because he told me every single time at the beginning of every video. I mean, he says his name like 85 times, and then he tells you to go on to all this different social stuff. And I didn't really click on that because that Twitch is a little too much hocus pocus for my taste. But good luck to him. You know, it sounds like something that's gonna make a whole lot of sense for him. Saying that he's actually changing his name. That's wonderful news for him. I was worried that he was always going to stay FM Base, and I was never going to be able to find him because I just went to YouTube and I would always type in Zealand and I wouldn't be able to find anything. And so I'm happy for him that he's got this moment, and I'll be able to find him now because I sent him messages telling him I couldn't find him, and now I will be able to. That's very nice of him. It's also very unrealistic. It's never this sunny in England, so. Alright. How's this thing on? He's changing his name from FM Base? I thought he owned FM Base. He doesn't own FM Base? That's weird. Margarita. I actually have no thoughts about Zealand changing his name on YouTube at all. I'm just here for the Gibraltar Recognition League, and we are offended by his complete and utter inability to say our name with anything other than the worst American accent you've ever heard. So I would just like to...
All right. We've now heard from Zealand himself. We've got the video recorded right now. It's just on the other side of this snazzy new intro. Before we start, excuse the attire. We're managing Generos on stream on Twitch, if you want to check that out in the description down below. And we like to get festive. We put on some salsa music and wear... Well, I mean, I've got to be honest. I'm a Floridian. I have like 10 shirts that look like this. So it's a disease. Hello. I don't think we need any more of those fancy edits, Reese. As much as I love them, it's time to just sit here and talk about what's about to happen, because we've done a lot in the past 8 months and some things are going to change. But fortunately, most things are going to stay the same. They're just certainly going to look different. You see, over the course of these past 6 or 7 months, I've found myself wanting to do other things on YouTube, both inside and outside of Football Manager. I felt limited in some respects because we were under the name FM Base, a name that I appreciate, an opportunity to run the FM Base YouTube channel that I've obviously appreciated greatly. You can tell I've had these thoughts since the very beginning, really, of the channel, because I started to pitch this alternate channel where I was going to post all this other stuff. Then I decided that would divide my attention, and once we got Reese involved, hi Reese, an editor involved of such quality, I didn't want to take up more of his time, and I didn't have the money to pay to take up more of his time. So we do our 2 videos a week, but the name of the channel is going to be changing from FM Base to Zealand. And the new logo, which is shockingly a Z, and we have some new cover art, a new sting at the beginning, and a new end screen, and things will probably look a little cooler than they did before, as much as I love all the FM Base stuff that we had going on already. To help, I'm going to break the channel into different playlists, and one of those playlists is going to be Zealand Does FM Base, and the other playlists are going to be Zealand Does something else, Zealand Does Life, so that I can finally make that video I've told you I was going to make forever, which is a day in the life. Zealand Does Fortnite. I hope never, ever. I think you get the idea. Zealand does something else. Zealand does a different Football Manager save, because in the FM Base brand, inside of the FM Base brand, I want it to just be tutorials, guides, scouting reports, all the stuff that you've come to know and love so far. So this is what I've been waiting for, to potentially do my version of a save on YouTube, where we update it once a week or once every 2 weeks with what's happened in probably a longer episode maybe than you're used to. I'm going to experiment with stuff like that. Maybe a third release in the middle of the week that I can edit myself. There's a lot of different options out here. But while we've been getting these ducks in a row to complete this rebranding of the channel and continue to work with FM Base on all Football Manager tutorials and upload all of our things to FM Base, I've been patiently holding back this wall of ideas that I've had for sometimes months that I will finally be able to do. So Football Manager 1 is not going away. 2, this is what I've been waiting for, to allow me to do Football Manager saves on YouTube, separated from the FM Base brand itself, which will now be a playlist called Zealand Does FM Base. And 3, I can now do generic YouTube things. I already have a couple of ideas for hopefully entertaining videos as we get into the back half of this summer that you guys will enjoy. And then we're all looking forward to the Zealand Does Politics channel. China. That's not going to happen. But these different playlists, I said channel, I'm already getting confused. These different playlists are going to contain the different types of content. And I'm not going to make any guarantees about when types of content is going to get uploaded. If I get super into some sort of kinshi upload, I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I am going to continue to be focused on Football Manager. So if this whole rebranding freaks you out and you go, he's not gonna do Football Manager anymore, he doesn't think he wants to. It's my favorite game in the world, and I want to play it a lot. But I also want to do some other stuff, because in case you hadn't noticed with the intros, I've got a little creativity. Just a little bit. And one of those videos that I know you're going to look forward to from the moment that I mention it, and I know for a fact is going to embarrass me, it is an example of the kind of real life content and sporting content that I'll be able to bring through with this rebranding and change. I'm going to take a couple of Premier League football quizzes, football, soccer quizzes, and I know I'm going to fail them. But you'll really enjoy watching me and just being able to discredit whatever I say from that point on. That's one of the first ones we're going to do. I'm going to sit down and take a couple of quizzes. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments. But what I can tell you is that most of the things in the videos won't change. It's still your boy Zealand and your boy Reese, who's behind the stuff most of the time. He gets out in front every once in a while with his kind bars, but he's behind there. Fun shirts, fun intros, copious amounts of just like hair everywhere. We're really hunting for a razor sponsorship, not those stupid scooters either. Actually, that would be kind of cool. Sponsored by a scooter, I'd be in for that. Yeah. I think the most important thing about this rebranding is I've really realized, and this signals that I've realized, that I want to continue to push what we're doing forward and try to come up with a lot of different kinds of content around Football Manager, around soccer/football, around sports in general, around other games. I want to just continue to be able to do that. And I felt like it was time for us to open that door, because I have huge Google Docs full of video ideas. And one of those 2 Google Docs is for the ideas that I was going to do after the rebranding happened. And we're here, folks. We're finally here. So thank you for the incredible support that I've gotten. And I look forward to going to Syracuse, which I'll be doing online for the next month, in case you missed the 24-hour stream where this announcement came in. So go Orange! Orange is everywhere. Going to Syracuse for a year to get my master's in broadcasting, because of course my other job is I'm a sports broadcaster. In case you didn't know that. Yes, I know I have the voice for it. I've been told that since I was born. I said mama, and they were like, wow, this kid's gonna be whew, you know. But this is also something that I now realize I want to do for a very long time, and I want to continue to make cooler and cooler things. In case you haven't noticed, I like taking the money that we make from this and throwing it back into making cooler and cooler stuff, which is why we now have such a great studio atmosphere and we can continue to push forward. It's going to be fun once I have to put all this in a car and drive up to New York. That's also going to be a video. I'm going to try and do it in under 24 hours. For those that don't know how long that drive is, it's about 24 hours. So we'll see, because I have to drive it. You can't trust an airplane with this. There's also a pandemic going on. We have no idea what's happening. But I can tell you what I know is happening. I'm going to be sitting here. We're in a chair that looks like this. Wearing a shirt that looks like this. With hopefully a better haircut once this whole pandemic thing fades. I'll be doing stuff to entertain you and educate you about Football Manager or any other game I happen to get super into the meta of. And we've got a bunch of exciting Football Manager projects that I can't talk about because I love surprising you, but they're really cool and they involve artificial intelligence on one occasion and an analyst department. I'm doing things. I promise. Football Manager and outside of them. And I'm really excited. I need to find some time to play another game at some point. Maybe when I'm 45. I'll do that when I'm 45. But thank you for everything, for watching, for subscribing on Twitch, for donating, on Twitch, and being able to not only allow me to pay for Reese, but to pay for just these consistent upgrades that allow us to continue to push forward and to pay for cool stuff that honestly, hopefully, pays off in your end going back the other direction to give you even better stuff to enjoy. And at some point, someday, every single one of you that's watching this video now is going to be an OG. You're going to be looked at as an OG. Because I told you on Twitter, I tweeted, I said, we're going to take over the world. Nobody believed me. Well, yeah, you all believed me. Hopefully now. We've done this in 7 months. Let's see what we can do with the rest of our life. That's a good place to end it, right, Reese? All right. See you on stream.
Kovac here. He's in the post. The teal value's been saved. Could you imagine if Switzerland scores another goal? It's inexplicable that Neon Belleau didn't finish that one.